Do you want to improve your emails to international students and get better conversion on your leads? Then this video is for you. My name is Johan Asplund, and I've helped students to study abroad for 20 years and answered an endless amount of student requests. My current company, DreamStudies, gives free information about studying abroad to students from Scandinavia and the rest of the world. We try to help all students that contact us, regardless of where in the world they want to study. To accomplish this, we often pass on student requests to partners who are better suited at replying them. Some of our partners get amazing results with many applicants, while others rarely get a reply from students. Why is that? Why do some fail while others succeed with leads from the same source? In this video, I will give you a lot of advice on how to best reply to student requests to create a win-win scenario, both for the student and your school, where the students get the help and information they require, and the school increase their chances of getting new applicants. The advice will be useful for anyone advising students about studying abroad, regardless of whether you work with DreamStudies or not. We will start out by looking at 5 reasons why your student emails don't convert. The number one reason is that your emails are marked as spam, so students never see them. If you're writing to a student who has never sent an email directly to you before, there's always a risk that you will end up in their spam box. Attachments are the number one reason that your email gets marked as spam. Sending large files to a new recipient is an almost guaranteed way to get marked as spam. I would recommend sending as few and as small files as possible. Linking to external resources is better, but only in moderation. Including many links will increase the risk of being flagged as spam, and avoid URL shorteners like bit.ly that hide the original URL. They are often used by spammers. Don't send identical mails to many recipients from your regular email program. Personalize student mails and use third-party solutions and a different email address when you send newsletters. Newsletter-like designs and with a lot of HTML and links such as unsubscribe also increases your chance or risk rather of being marked as spam when sent to a first-time recipient. Avoid bad and pushy language. This is one of the most common telltale signs for spam, especially in email titles. This includes bad spelling and grammar, bold red text, and phrases such as "book now." Also pay attention to error messages. If your mail was stopped already at server level, you usually get a mail with an error message explaining why. Sometimes it can be because of a problem with the recipient's email address, but it can also be because your email or your mail server has been spam listed. So make sure to sort out those problems with your IT department or provider, especially if you frequently receive these kind of emails, or if others report that they don't get your mails. More reasons that your email fails. If your email has a bad title, it might never get read. We're drowned in mails these days. Even if your mail make it to the student's inbox, it might never get read unless you have an attractive title that appeals to the student and makes it crystal clear what the email is about. We will have a closer look at titles soon. You reply too late. Don't think that you're the only school or agency that the student is considering. If you're too slow to reply, there's a big risk that you will lose the student to one of your competitors. Studies show that replying quickly gives a big improvement on conversion rates. Your reply is too generic or too short. Put yourself in the student's shoes. Why would you invest a lot of time and money into a school that doesn't even bother to give you a personalized reply and answer your questions? However, your reply can also be too long. Stay on point and answer the students' questions, but don't overcomplicate things and overwhelm them with too much information. People are lazy, and a long mail with a long paragraphs will be a turn-off for many people. Now we will have a look at how to write a good student email step by step. We will start by looking at an example request from a student named Lisa. She has graduated from high school and she wants to take an undergraduate program as soon as possible at our demo school. Lisa writes, I want to study architecture at demo school in London. How much does the program cost? As we mentioned before, having a good title is vital for your email to be read. If you already have a dialogue with a student, then hitting the reply button is usually enough. But if this is the first time you're sending an email to a student whose request you've received from a partner or from your own CRM, then you need to come up with a good title. Do not reply on titles generated by a CRM if they say something like information request from partner X. This will not make sense to the students since they have not written this title. Write a title that matches the student's request. In this case, I would suggest something like Study Architecture in London at Demo School. This will make it crystal clear for Lisa what the mail is about, and since she's interested in this, she will most likely open your mail. That is a good start. Make sure to greet the student by their name. This makes it clear to the student that this is a personal email written specifically for them. It can also help prevent your mail from being marked as spam. Quickly establish how you got their email details so the student understands that your mail is legit. This is especially important if you have received their email from a third party. A simple phrase like, thanks for your mail that we received from our partner DreamStudies will do the trick. Then I recommend getting straight to the point of what they're interested in to keep them reading. So in this case, I would write something like, I'm happy to hear that you're interested in studying architecture in London. The next very important step is to sell your school and convince the student why they should study with you. Many schools make the mistake of thinking that students already know you and that they have made up their minds to study with you. But it's not that simple. Nowadays, students like to compare different suppliers, and just because they have submitted a request form doesn't mean that they know much about your school. That is why they made the request, so you can give them more info. So make sure to sell your school and convince the student that you're a good option for them. In this example I wrote, our school has been teaching architecture for 70 years. Our teachers are award-winning architects, and we have state-of-the-art facilities in the heart of London. Read more about our architecture programs at Demo link. It doesn't have to be that short, but don't overdo it either. It is a good idea to serve them with a deep link to their specific area of interest if you have a good website. Next, you should answer all the students' questions. Even if the information is available on your website, I would recommend pasting it into the mail as a service to the student. In our example, Lisa asked about the cost for the architecture program, and the answer is our tuition fee for the undergraduate programs are £12,000 per year. So in total, £36,000 for a 3 years bachelor's degree in architecture. And finally, give a call to action. What do you want the students to do next? Apply, book a meeting, take a test? Always let the students know what to do next if you want to convert. In this case, we know that Lisa wants to start as soon as possible. So we inform her that the next start date is August 24 and the application deadline is June 15. Then we encourage her to start the process on time and give her the link to the application form and requirements. And last but not least, encourage the student to contact you if they have any questions, so they know that they can get help if needed. And do not sign the email with an anonymous entity like info@ or just your school name. Make sure that the email is signed by a person and that it's sent from that person's email account. We buy from people that we like and trust. Studying abroad can be daunting, so make sure that the students feel that their concerns are taken care of by a real person. And don't forget to follow up. Send the student a follow-up mail after a week or two if you haven't heard from them. Include the original mail, but don't send any attachments to make sure that you avoid spam filters. Check if they receive the original mail and let them know that you're there to help them if needed, but don't be too pushy. At this point, you can also try to call them if they have left a phone number, but beware that many students are hesitant to take international calls from unknown numbers, so it's best to pre-book a meeting in that case. We're all different. Some people like to talk, while others prefer to do all communication by email. Don't try to force your preferred method of communication onto the students. Let them choose, and always start by contacting them by email unless they have specifically asked for a call. If you still don't convert, well, you can't win them all. Maybe the student isn't ready yet. He or she might get back to you later if you gave them a good reply. Maybe the student already chose another school, or the student only wanted to collect some information, or he or she couldn't afford your school. Or most likely he hasn't made up his or her mind yet. As a student, maybe you consider many different destinations, schools, and programs, so you can't convert them all at once. However, if none of your students' mails convert, then you'd better take a close look at your process to see what can be improved and look at all the different advice we have given you in this video. As Tom Ferry said, it's not the leads, it's never the leads, it's always your ability to convert. Some leads are definitely better than others, but all leads are not bad and all leads are not good. All leads are an opportunity, so make the most of it. I hope you found this video helpful. Read more about DreamStudies and how we can help you with student recruitment from Scandinavia and the rest of the world on our website, dreamstudies.se.
Do you dream of studying abroad, but you're not sure how and where to go? That's why we're here, DreamStudies Abroad, to help you out reaching your goal. So many schools from all around the world are welcoming you with their open doors. Live your dreams and travel the world, a new journey for the brighter future. Let's talk study abroad today. Your dream is not so far away.